What's up, fellow Sambarians? It's a bit early in the morning, but I gotta get this job done before the rain comes soon, because we are in Washington and it rains all the time. Hopefully it's not picking up that sound of the heater. So I am in the midst of doing a timing belt kit, water pump, cam and crank seal change on this Subaru Sambar, and I thought I would just make a video on installing the cam and the cam and the crank seal. I've had quite a few guys ask about making a video on doing the cam and crank seal, so I'll just show that. So it's going to be short, quick, and hopefully very simple. And one of the reasons I wanted to make a video is because Aaron, who is 3D printing all the stuff that's in my store online, like the gauge pods and the cup holders, he's 3D printing seal installers. And these things are super handy when it comes to putting these seals in, because it takes away the guesswork of, did I put the seal in too far? Did I not put the seal in far enough? Usually, a rule of thumb is you just look at where it's at before you pull it out, obviously. But most of the time, they're countersunk just a tiny bit, almost flush, but not pushed all the way in until it bottoms out. You don't want to do that. Like I said, just look where the seal is at, but usually it's just about flush with the surface, in just a tiny bit. But these, I don't even have to think about it. I just tap them in there and we get the seals in where we need them to be. So I was going to show how to remove the seals, how to reinstall them, my process of doing it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, the timing stuff is pretty straightforward. Mr. Subaru has a pretty good video on the whole sequence of events, but it's very, very, very easy and very hard to screw up doing a timing kit on the sandbars, because everything is marked. You got your crank with a mark on the pulley. You have your cam has a mark with the pulley with the F and the B, so it's, the correct direction. You're not 180 degrees out, or I should say, yeah, 180 degrees out on the cam. And there's marks on the belt, so once you install it, the marks should line up, so that ensures you did it correctly. But the trickiest part is just doing the seals. So I have a couple tools. I have this, I think it's Lyle seal puller. This works really good for the cam seal. I'll see if I can get it to work for the crank seal. The crank seal is very small, so it's hard to get in there. And that's where I usually use my 90-degree pick. But we'll try to use the seal puller, and if not, then we'll use the 90-degree pick. But this for sure works on the cam seal because it's slightly bigger and you get a little more room to pop it out. So I'm going to bring you guys in and let's take these things off. All right, you guys can see that. So I've already kind of cleaned it up with a rag. We don't want any dirt to fall in there, obviously, when we take this out. And as you can see, the seal right now is just kind of flush with the edge of the block, which is exactly how we want to reinstall the new one. So let's see if we can get the seal puller in there. It's just so stinking small. Let's see. Oh yeah, there we go. And then we realign this thing, this little doohickey here, so we can get a good pull. Goodness. Ow, that hurt. That was my finger. Man, that sucker was in there. Holy cow, these seals usually pop out pretty easy. Got it. Okay. So the seal is out. Let's get it nice and clean. Put my pick on the rag. Just get in there. Get it all nice and cleaned up, especially since part of the seal got stuck in there. Man, that thing was in there. Okay, so reinstalling your cam and crank seal. So cam seal is bigger. There's a camera. Cam seal is bigger than your crank seal, so you can't really mess that up. They're different sizes. So when reinstalling seals, you want to make sure they're lubed up pretty good. And I have a white grease. It's a white engine assembly grease. This is what I've always used for putting together engines. I've had this same tube for like probably 20 years, and it works really good. This is what I use for all the seals, and I just did rod bearings on this. So that's what I use to keep everything lubed up. Let's put some on this. We'll put it on both sides so it can slide in good, and it will slide over the crankshaft good. So I just slather that stuff on there like you're putting barbecue sauce on your Chick-fil-A nuggets, your chicken nuggies. Okay, so let's go ahead and put the seal on, being careful. Since we lubed it up pretty good, it should pop over the crank. And then just kind of get it on there, snug and flush. Not flush, sorry, even as possible. So then when we go to tap it on with our tool, we got... So here's the deal with these seals. This is going to work with all your sandbars, your supercharged, your carbureted, your fuel injected, your TTs, your KSs. They're all the same engines. So these will be on the website if you want to do this, if you want to get these. Also, it helps to kind of lube up the camshaft, the crankshaft a little bit, because these things are pretty snug for a perfect fit. So let's go ahead and tap this on. Okay, so you'll feel it kind of bottom out. Obviously, it'll start to get stuck. And these things are pretty snug, so I take my 90-degree pick and I stab it. So it still needs to go a little bit more. It's not exactly flush yet. That's okay. Let's try that again. That one felt... Yeah, that one felt like that was it. There we go. Yep, that was it. So, just perfect. Just perfect. So, this guy comes in handy for the crank. Now, let's move on to the cam seal. Now, this tool works super good on the camshaft because it's got a little more... Oh my gosh, these seals are rock hard. This is crazy. I've never... Ah, goodness gracious. I've literally never had this much trouble getting these seals out. Well, I didn't bend it, so that's good. And the good thing about this tool is they give you 2 tips. So if you do bend it, you can replace it. But there you go, seal is out. I'm going to clean that. I might have to remove this stinking EGR. Okay, so the trick to getting that EGR tube off is get yourself a Sawzall and... No, I'm kidding. I took it off. It's just like a 7/8 is perfect. I think it's like the same size as an O2 sensor. Kind of tricky to get in, but 7/8 and some penetration lubricant will get that guy off. It's going to make it a lot easier to get in there to tap that seal in. So let's finish tapping that seal in now. Let's see, there you go. You can see it right here. Tap it. Tap, 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 tap. And that should... Yep, perfect. That's the trick. All right, there you go. Seal installer. So just tap into your inner karate, and there's a rare spotting of a pollito. Yeah, so these will be on the website, Cam and Crank seal installers. They're made with a certain material that's a little not spongy, but it's a little squishy to take a blow, so it won't break as if it was hard plastic. Because his first design of the hard plastic ones would break eventually over time from hitting it so much. But these ones are a little more impact um, resistant, I guess. So yeah, they work perfect. And it's like I said, it takes the guesswork out of, is it too far in? Is it not far enough in? Because it'll bottom out um, when it stops. So yeah, that was pretty much it. I'll have a link to these in the description if you'd like to support Aaron and his 3D printed parts that he's making for my website. And hopefully that will help with the installation of your seals. And like I said, if you want like a full video on how to do the timing stuff, Mr. Subaru has a really good one. But it's really easy. Uh, there's a tool for removing a Subaru cam sprocket on Amazon for like, I don't know, 20 bucks, 30 bucks or something. It's for a Subaru or Toyota engine or something. Fits right in the cam. Let's see. It's way up there, but fits right in the cam sprocket, so then you can break it loose, and then when you need to torque it, you can torque it back. And like I said, everything's got timing marks on it, even the belt, so you literally cannot screw this up, because as long as everything is lined up when you put it back together, you can't be off a timing mark. I feel like the Subaru is 1,000 times easier to do a timing belt change on than like the Acti, because the Acti has really dumb timing marks that are hard to see. So the Subaru makes it real easy. But like I said, seals, uh, real real simple to do with these tools. So uh, any more tips? I don't really have any, other than just take your time, pay attention to what you're doing, and don't rush things because you'll break stuff. And make it make it an experience. Enjoy the process of owning and fixing your own sandbar, because that's part of owning a sandbar. Is you're gonna have to probably be working on it yourself, because there's not a whole lot of people out there who like to work on these. Except if you're in Washington, I'd love to work on your sandbar. Bring it by. But yeah, rod bearings on this guy, and we'll put oil back in it, and we'll fire it up and make sure we got rid of that rod knock noise it was having. And this should be good to go today. So thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Like, subscribe, all that fun stuff if you'd like to. Helps me out a lot. And okgarage.com for any parts that you might need for your sandbar, Acti, whatever. Again, cool. Thanks for watching, guys. Take it easy.